China stands on the brink of disaster as Mother Nature unleashes her fury in unimaginable ways. Torrential rainstorms and relentless flooding have pushed the mighty Three Gorges Dam to its limits, threatening a catastrophic breach that could spell devastation for millions. But the dam isn't the only battle China faces. Two powerful typhoons, Yagi and Bebinca, have slammed into the coastlines, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Homes have been flattened, cities submerged, and lives forever changed as the country grapples with the overwhelming force of these natural disasters.
A series of catastrophic events unfolded across China, challenging the nation's resilience and testing its preparedness against nature's fury. Southern China was deluged by relentless torrents of rain, overwhelming ancient rivers and breaching massive dams, while the north simmered under a blistering sun, caught in the grip of a merciless drought. Amid the chaos, the mighty Three Gorges Dam, a symbol of China's engineering prowess, stood as both a protector and a potential destroyer, as its floodgates were forced open to prevent disaster. As the waters rose and fell, so did the hopes and fears of millions. The Chinese government and mainstream media have remained largely silent about the role of dams in these disasters. Instead of focusing on how to mitigate the impact of such weather events, authorities have often used these situations to achieve political goals. But as the debate rages on, a haunting question lingers in the minds of many. Is this devastating cycle a result of divine wrath or the inevitable consequence of human folly? The year brought severe weather challenges to China, testing the limits of its water management infrastructure. In the southern regions, relentless rainfall battered the landscape, forcing massive water releases from dams like the Three Gorges to prevent catastrophic failures. This deluge overwhelmed poor infrastructure, leading to widespread flooding. Meanwhile, northern China grappled with drought and extreme heat, a consequence of the intensifying El Niño phenomenon. As we move into July, China faces a significant flooding crisis. Continuous heavy rains have dramatically increased the inflow to the Three Gorges Dam. With inflow rates around 50,000 cubic meters per second and outflow rates exceeding 30,000 cubic meters per second, the dam has now opened 4 floodgates to manage the unprecedented water levels. As of July 14th, the water level in the Three Gorges Reservoir is over 15 meters higher than the average for this time of year, setting a new record. The impact of these floods is being felt across multiple regions. In Chongqing and Dazhou, Sichuan, several days of relentless rainfall have led to severe flooding in 15 rivers, including the Jialing River. The rapidly rising water levels have resulted in significant urban flooding, with many residents reporting that the water levels rose dramatically overnight, a phenomenon not seen in decades. In Wuxi County, Chongqing, the Daning River experienced its first flood of the year, submerging vehicles along river roads and causing water levels to reach up to 3 meters in low-lying areas. The Yangtze River experienced its second flood peak of the year, with Daxian County in Chongqing recording 254 millimeters of rainfall within 9 hours, the highest since local meteorological records began. The flooding crisis extends beyond these regions. Heavy rainfall has swept across southern China, causing unprecedented flooding in multiple provinces, including Hunan, Anhui, Jiangxi, Hubei, Guangdong, and Guangxi. The downpour in Changsha, the capital of Hunan province, was particularly severe, with water levels rising to an adult's neck in some areas. In just 1 hour, the amount of rain that fell was enough to fill 54 West Lakes, a famous scenic spot in Hangzhou.
2流都马上要进水了，这个完蛋了。
看这水库水库的，这里水。
The province of Guangxi faced its worst flood in 30 years, affecting over 180,000 people since mid-June. Continuous heavy rain, coupled with upstream flood discharges, caused water levels at the hydrological station in Guilin to rise rapidly, peaking at nearly 149 meters. As the river overflowed, urban areas were submerged, transforming cities like Meizhou in Guangdong province into vast oceans. The floodwaters have brought widespread property losses, environmental destruction, and severe threats to people's lives. Additionally, centuries-old cultural relics, like those in Anhui province, were destroyed by the relentless floodwaters. While southern China battles floods, the north faces a different challenge. Unusually dry conditions have taken hold, as El Niño typically leads to warmer winters and harsher summers in these areas. This contrast in weather conditions has highlighted the challenges of managing the diverse impacts of El Niño across different regions of China. The National Climate Center in Beijing has warned that the effects of El Niño could persist into the following year, leading to continued meteorological challenges and the potential for more extreme weather events. Looking back to August 2023, we see a precursor to the current crisis. Beijing experienced one of its most devastating floods in recent history, primarily due to the aftermath of Typhoon Doksuri. The torrential rains shattered a 140-year record, leading to catastrophic flooding in the city and surrounding areas. The severe weather claimed at least 33 lives in Beijing, with many others missing, while thousands of residents were forced to evacuate to temporary shelters. The floods caused widespread damage across the region, washing away vehicles, uprooting trees, and disrupting power supplies to tens of thousands of homes. Some areas reported nearly 20 inches of rainfall, overwhelming the city's infrastructure. The floods extended beyond Beijing, affecting neighboring regions like Hebei and Tianjin, where further evacuations were necessary. As China grapples with these ongoing disasters, a crucial question emerges. What is truly causing these unusual natural disasters? While heavy rains are undoubtedly a significant factor, they alone cannot fully explain the rapid rise in water levels and the devastating impact on communities. Many in China believe that human intervention, particularly the unannounced release of floodwaters from dams, plays a significant role in exacerbating these disasters. The damage isn't just to modern infrastructure. In Anhui province, the ancient village of Chunan, once praised by the philosopher Zhu Xi, has been severely damaged by floods. This village is home to a large number of ancient Hui architectural relics, such as the Liaolong Temple and a complex of ancient buildings. The Hantu Bridge, built during the Yuan dynasty and now over 700 years old, has also suffered damage. In another instance, the statue of the famous poet Li Bai in Wutian Town, Xuancheng, Anhui, was submerged up to its chest in floodwaters. The speed at which these floods have occurred is particularly alarming. On June 23rd, a video from Sichuan television showed that in a village in Anhui, water levels rose by 4 to 5 meters within minutes. In Changsha, 2 restaurant employees in the Zuojia commercial area reported that water began rising around 9 a.m., and by 11 a.m., many parts of the city was flooded. The role of dams in these flooding events has come under scrutiny. The unannounced release of floodwaters from dams is a significant contributor to the severity of the floods in southern China. On June, the Hangan Reservoir in Ping'an County, Guangdong, suddenly discharged floods. Surveillance cameras captured a house in Jiang'an Village, Ping'an County, being submerged within hours, with water levels rising by 2 meters in just 3 hours. These unannounced flood discharges are not only devastating, but also shrouded in secrecy. The Chinese government and mainstream media have remained largely silent about the role of dams in these disasters. Instead of focusing on how to mitigate the impact of such weather events, authorities have often used these situations to achieve political goals. At the heart of this controversy stands the Three Gorges Dam, the largest hydroelectric project in history. Built to control the Yangtze River, the world's third longest river, the dam has been a source of both pride and concern for China. While it was intended to control floods, generate electricity, and improve river navigation, the dam has faced criticism for its environmental impact, the displacement of millions of people, and its questionable safety. The dam has accumulated 1.8 billion tons of sediment since it was built, which could form a small mountain. This sedimentation not only reduces the dam's ability to control floods, but also causes widespread erosion downstream. Chinese geologists and hydrologists have warned that the dam's structural integrity is under threat due to the weight of the water and the accumulation of sediment. There are also concerns that the dam's construction on an earthquake-prone area increases the risk of a catastrophic failure. In August 2020, the Three Gorges Dam faced its biggest flood peak, raising concerns about its ability to withstand such pressure. The official report stated that nearly 40% of floodwater had been retained in the reservoir and was preparing to be released, which could cause severe flooding downstream. The dam's management of water levels is also a cause for concern, as it must release water at a lower level to prevent flooding in upstream cities like Chongqing. The human cost of these floods is immense and often underreported. However, many believe that the true extent of the casualties is likely higher, as the government often manipulates casualty figures to downplay the human toll of such disasters.